Good evening and thank you for tuning into Atlanta News First Plus, here to bring you the first alert forecast across digital streaming platforms. We're live right now on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and the First Alert weather app, Atlanta News First app, Roku, Amazon Fire, YouTube Live. In fact, YouTube and Facebook are monitoring both streams this evening, and we're answering your other questions, addressing any comment concerns that you may have about the forecast. Obviously, kind of a tricky one that could impact you. So if you do have any concerns about Christmas holiday travel plans, how cold it is going to get here across North Georgia, and whether there's a risk of snow, ice, anything like that, of course, we'll be addressing that here in the forecast. But if you want to dive into the details, maybe you have questions about specific areas or even areas outside of North Georgia, we'll be addressing those here. But before we get to the kind of higher end of the impact of the forecast, way out there in the 7-day. We'll talk about this evening, overnight, tonight, and this weekend. And as folks join in, give it a few moments, we'll kind of slide into the Christmas forecast and really where the bulk of the impactful weather is. And that is in the extended forecast way out there, days 5, 6, and 7. Though outside right now, it is chilly. We're kicking off a pretty cold weekend here across North Georgia. Not exceptionally cold, but it is on the colder side, considering that we had a little bit of a milder afternoon yesterday afternoon with temperatures peaking near 60 in spots. But we stayed in the low to mid 50s this afternoon. Some spots upper 40s. Gainesville, Canton, Rome, and points north. Few neighborhoods in the upper 40s this afternoon. So we are kicking off a chillier weekend across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. 45 in Atlanta. That's your current temperature. Also off to the north and west. Notice how it is colder. In fact, if you are outside of the perimeter in general, it is going to be chillier than, of course, inside I-285, and that's the trend here for the next few hours. Temperatures are cooling, but they're dropping or they're cooling at a quicker rate outside of the perimeter. So just plan on that being the trend for the next few hours. You see that now, 45 Atlanta, but 41 in Locust Grove. 40 in Covington, already down to 36 in Carrollton, 37 LaGrange. Could be some frost forming on the windshields if you parked outside. And Blairsville up in the mountains of far North Georgia already back in the lower 30s. It is a chilly evening, verging on cold actually in many spots already, and we will continue to cool as we go deeper into the evening and especially the overnight and the Saturday morning forecast. Now, what's going to save us from like a more significant freeze overnight tonight is the fact that we have some clouds moving in. You can't really see them behind me. The sun has set. You can't really see stars on that sky cam normally, but I do think if you're outside, you'd see some stars. But that'll change here over the next few hours as clouds start to move in from the south and west. They move in, they act like a blanket, and temperatures are dropping quickly early this evening. But by mid to late evening, and especially the wee hours of our Saturday morning, temperatures kind of level off, and they stop dropping as much, at least. Again, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. Thank you for tuning in, watching Atlanta News First Plus, the First Alert forecast, a digital stream. We're in the app right now, AtlantaNewsFirst.com, Roku, Amazon Fire, YouTube Live. We're on Facebook too. In fact, let's take a look at the Facebook feed. You have some new comments coming in. Donna Shirley saying, hope it snows. There is a chance of some wintry weather, Donna, as we get into the Thursday, Friday, Saturday portion of the forecast, especially late Thursday into Fridays, it looks right now. And we'll be monitoring those chances over the next several days. That's the unsure part of the forecast, but what we can guarantee is that it is going to get very, very cold. Back to Facebook, Atlanta News First is the account to like and follow if you'd like to converse on this feed. Michael Baxter, good evening to you. Hello, watching Atlanta News First. Thanks for watching. Wesley Millsap, hello to you. Hope you are both, Michael, Wesley, all three of you, Donna as well, having a wonderful evening, no matter where you are in North Georgia, even beyond. And I am watching the YouTube feed as well. I don't have too many comments coming in yet, but again, YouTube and Atlanta News First on Facebook as well. Those are the places to be if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns that need to be addressed. If you have any weather questions, of course, going deeper into the this weekend, and then of course the long holiday weekend. So let's walk you through that forecast now. Temperatures continuing to cool. Here is the hour by hour. And within the next couple of hours, temperatures back in the upper 30s, even inside the perimeter by 11 p.m. to midnight. And notice how clouds gets a little cloudier as we get into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. And as we do so, that'll kind of cap how far temperatures cool, how cold we get tonight. And we're thinking mainly mid to upper 30s inside I-285. 39 out the door, 9 a.m. in the morning. Of course, that's a little after sunrise. We'll have had a chance to warm up, just a couple of degrees by that point. But I think kind of a frosty start in places across North Georgia, especially outside of the perimeter and especially north of I-20 early on your Saturday morning. Speaking of which, we'll start the clock. This is a forecast model at 4 a.m. And as we go deeper in time, mid to upper 30s, 5, 6, 7. Notice how we don't cool that much after about 4 o'clock in the morning with all of the clouds around. Could be a sprinkle in the morning, mainly west of Atlanta, Carrollton, Wedowee, Alabama. That's, Cleburne and Randolph counties. Also Troup and Heard counties, 39 LaGrange. It's going to be sprinkles, nothing really wintry here, but there could be a sprinkle or two making it to the ground. Really, though, just clouds through the day tomorrow. With temperatures by noon, low to mid 40s, Clayton could still be in the upper 30s. So it is going to be a chilly Saturday, 40s combined with the breeze. It will feel even colder. So if you have plans tomorrow, especially going outside, maybe grilling with the family, maybe you're doing some yard work or last minute outdoor decorating before all the family comes in for Christmas and the holiday season, wear the jackets. It's going to be chilly all day long with temperatures struggling by 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon to get into the upper 40s to near 50. In fact, I think at 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, we're still dealing with clouds, LaGrange, Griffin, Covington, Athens, and especially south and east of there down towards Macon, Warner, Robins. But notice how the sun is back. Rome, Dalton, Canton clearing out of the clouds, Carrollton, Blairsville, Clayton, you're still cold up in Rabun County, Georgia, Clay County, North Carolina. But by then, I think sunshine increasing from northwest to south and east. As we get into tomorrow evening after sunset, so it's not going to be as nice, right? You probably hope it clears out before the sun sets, but in some communities it'll wait till after sunset on your Saturday before we really clear out. But when we do, temperatures will really tumble. Here we are, 7 p.m. Saturday evening. It's already down to 43. Let's go a little deeper into the evening. 11 p.m. Saturday evening, we're back into the 30s. And notice up here across the mountains of western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, we have a little bit of snow being depicted up across the mountains here, the highest elevations of North Georgia, really not North Georgia, at least according to this forecast model, but eastern Tennessee and more so western North Carolina. You can kind of see that area there as I highlighted. This is not really accumulating snow, but some flurries here just north of Atlanta, and can't totally rule out a flurry or two up in the mountain counties there, right along the Tennessee and North Carolina state line. Clay County, North Carolina, the highest elevations. You could see a flurry or two late Saturday night into Sunday morning, but it's not going to amount to much, and it will not further south. All of our main North Georgia core counties, no worries of that. But it will be cold. The breeze takes over, and we're cold Sunday morning. Temperatures mid and upper 20s, north and west sides. In fact, I think even LaGrange, Griffin, Covington, Athens, Clark County perhaps, having that chance to dip down to the upper 20s. This is Sunday morning. With a light breeze, it'll feel even colder. Wind chills back in the low to mid 20s, but hey, we have sunshine. The sunshine allows us to warm up just a little bit. Not going to be a warm day Saturday or Sunday, but it is going to be, not as cold as it's going to be. You'll think this is warm by the time you look at that Christmas weekend forecast. But what I will say is that it's going to be cold on our Sunday. All right, we have a question coming in. Tanya Belcher on YouTube. Tanya Belcher asking, is it going to be a big snow and ice storm? Unlikely, but it could impact travel, especially to our north and to our northeast. We're going to be watching this potential. We can't rule out some wintry weather, especially late Thursday, more so Friday. It's a potential, but not a certainty, and it's something to keep an eye on. We are 7 days out. We're not going to put all the eggs in one basket. We're not going to bet anything 100% confidence. It's just not there for an event that is so far out into the future. Thursday, Friday, though, days to watch. Tanya Belcher, if you could just let me know where you're commenting in from in North Georgia, or maybe Clay County, North Carolina, or maybe Cleburne, Randolph counties in Alabama, because your location will also impact the chance that you get to see some wintry weather as we lead into the Christmas holiday and Christmas Day itself. So Tanya on YouTube, if you could just let me know where you're commenting in from, I can give you a little bit more of a precise answer, at least as precise as you can be, 5, 6, 7 days out. Back to Sunday, it's going to be a pretty decent one. Saturday and Sunday, though, it will be chilly. We'll have a lot more cloud cover tomorrow, and then as we get into our Saturday evening, we clear out. Sunday will be featuring a lot more sunshine, mostly sunny, in fact, and a nice day. It's just going to be plain old cold. Now for the big story, and that is the extreme cold that we have coming up in the extended forecast. Building in from the north and the northwest as we get deeper into really late next week, so next Thursday and Friday. That is the forecast story. Extreme cold, giving the first alert. A heads up, Tanya Belcher, is going to be a windy storm on Friday. I saw it will be up to 45. Yes, it will be windy. Tanya, if you could tell me where you're commenting in from, I can give you a much more precise answer as to, is it going to be a big snow or ice storm? Again, that looks unlikely, but your location will determine that. And Tanya, your location will also determine your risk of wind gusts greater than 40 miles an hour. Further north, a little windier. Further south, maybe not quite as windy. So Tanya, if you could let me know where you are commenting in from in North Georgia. Tanya on YouTube Live right now. Oh, in Atlanta. Okay, there we go. Glad I got you back. Glad you heard me. In Atlanta, it will be windy. We're talking gusts over 40 miles an hour, Tanya. A pretty safe bet. Could be a little windier than that, so we're talking a very windy day, especially Friday. As it looks right now, we're pretty confident in that part of the forecast, and I do think that there could be some flurries, and there could be some light wintry precipitation, maybe from rain switching over to flurries. But as far as a big snow and ice storm, that continues to look unlikely. But could it impact travel? You know, it doesn't take very much in this part of the world to really snarl travel and to cause some issues. So it's a possibility, something we can't completely take off the table. But for Thursday, Friday, we'll lay out this scenario in detail coming up here in just a moment, looking like not a big snow and ice storm here locally in North Georgia, but it's going to get sharply colder. We do have a chance of some wintry weather, and it doesn't take much to cause some issues, so worth paying attention to. And it's going to be very, very windy. Could bring down some branches, maybe some isolated power outages, and then definitely as we get into the weekend, it's going to be the weekend leading up to Christmas, that is, it's going to be bringing in some much colder air. In fact, let's talk about this. I can lay out the forecast for you. This is a look at low temperatures for the next 7 days. And bear with me for just a moment while I find this graphic and pull it up for you. Here we go. So we do have that first alert for Thursday, first alert for Friday because of the sharply colder air and because of the chance that the wind is going to make it feel even colder, and that chance it's a wintry weather. So these are low temperatures. We are going to be cold tomorrow morning, though not as cold as Sunday morning. 28 Monday morning, 40 on Tuesday morning, 37 Wednesday morning, 42 Thursday morning potentially. It really just depends on exactly when the cold air mass arrives, when it builds in. Temperatures probably falling through the day, Thursday potentially. But by the time we get into Friday morning, it is going to be sharply colder and feeling dangerously cold, with wind chills down in the single digits possibly. And I think Saturday morning could even be colder than Friday morning. So that is a look at low temperatures, again, behind that system as it moves in. And you can see temperatures the big story here. Tina Tony, good evening to you. Atlanta News First on Facebook, commenting and saying hello from Rome, Georgia, up in Floyd County. You guys are going to be very, very cold Friday, Saturday mornings. Really a likely chance, in fact, up in that area of some low to mid-teens, especially as we get into Saturday morning, possibly Friday morning as well, but low to mid-teens, and that's a safe bet. Could even end up being a little bit colder than that far north and west of Metro Atlanta. So cold is the big story. It's going to be extreme cold, one of the coldest stretches leading up to Christmas, especially in years, if not decades, and one of the coldest Christmas days in years. And technically the coldest air will probably be just before Christmas Day itself. So these are a look at all of our temperatures. This is a look at temperatures. And you see it's going to be cold leading up to the big cold front, but the big day is Thursday, kind of our transition day from something that is cold, but within the realm of normal, and then back to something that is a little bit more absurd, a little bit more unusual as we get into the weekend before Christmas. All right, Disney 100 Years of Wonder. This might be Max. Hey there, Max, if that's you, watching from Snellville. Thanks for watching, Max, on YouTube. Atlanta News First is the account to follow. Tina Tony, is it going to snow the day after Christmas? We're chatting on Facebook as well. Eddie, Harrison, Bailey wanting to know about snow. Everyone wants to know about snow. You know, now is a good time to go ahead and pull up that 7-day forecast because it is a tricky forecast, and I wish I could, bet my job on it snowing or not in any one particular spot across North Georgia. But what I can say is that the chance is there. I think Eddie and Tina, the possibility of at least flurries, it's pretty likely. You might see a flurry or two floating through the sky, but there is the lower end potential of something that is a little bit more significant. Maybe it accumulates a little bit. That's not in the forecast now, but it is technically within the realm of possibilities. You have a big range of possibilities, and then right there in the middle, you tend to have the forecast. So you have the forecast right now. The forecast is for flurries, sprinkles, light rain transitioning to very, very light snow, and some flurries late Thursday, more so Friday. But within the realm of possibilities, you know, there are a lot of options on the table there. So just keep in mind, Eddie and Tina, you see the forecast, but that is just a forecast. There are possibilities on either side of that more neutral, in the middle, most likely scenario forecast. Sanchez L. Burns Turner watching from Smyrna, Georgia. It would be nice if the moisture and cold air meets right at the exact time, and that would be perfect. And we would get snow and wintry weather. It'd be harder to travel, though, to your Christmas destination. But timing is so tricky, you know, especially this far south. A lot of times that's, Edie. Edie has 2 Ds. I'm sorry, Edie. I do apologize. Edie Bailey. It's a little hard to see on the Facebook screen. Again, as you can see, they kind of zip on along there. A little bit difficult to see, but I'm sorry, Edie. Edie Harrison Bailey wanted to know if it will snow. Hopefully, though, Edie, did that make sense about the forecast, though? You know, there's the forecast, and then there's the realm of possibilities, and there are going to be possibilities and extremes on both ends of the forecast. The forecast is kind of in the middle there. In the most likely case, Edie, hopefully that made sense to you, Edie. If you could comment that back there, and I do apologize for messing up your name. You're very welcome. And again, hopefully that explanation made sense. And if you're just joining, I know we have some more viewers now on Facebook. Also, we'll check YouTube out in a moment. We have the forecast, which I'm going to pull up for you now because we've been talking about it for a while. And that is a look at low temperatures for the next several days. And you know it's going to get cold. Keep in mind, this is for Atlanta. But here's a look at not just the low temperatures, but the actual forecast. You know, precipitation, rain, sleet, snow, that kind of stuff, along with temperatures. And we have a first alert for Thursday and for Friday. Temperatures falling during the day Thursday. That 47 could very well be earlier in the day. And then during the day Friday, temperatures will tumble, likely to remain below freezing. And we have a 30 to 40% chance of rain transitioning briefly to maybe sleet and then very quickly over to light snow and flurries. Now, is it going to be a big storm? Is it going to be something that accumulates all over the state? That is unlikely, but we're watching a few different possibilities here. Disney 100 Years of Wonder saying, and I agree with the forecast, will be one heck of a cold Christmas week. It absolutely is. Tanya wants to know, is that cold air going to last long? It'll last for, once it gets here Thursday, it's going to last into early the following week. So we're talking 3 to 5 days, a pretty realistic picture of maybe not the most extreme cold, but the cold itself lasting 3 to 5 days. It moves in Thursday, Friday. In fact, there is that 7-day forecast, and I actually have another even more extended forecast that I can show you. In fact, we're going to take you to the First Alert weather page on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. You can see Jen's forecast from earlier. She's breaking down the cold air and the potential for wintry weather. But as I scroll down below, all you have to do is click on 10-day, and here we are through next Sunday, December 25th. That is Christmas Day, low at 24, high at 34. That's in Atlanta, and a lot of the data keeps it at least chilly into early the following week. So Max, if that is you on YouTube Live, yes, 19 for the low temperature next Friday morning. Again, and subject to change a little bit there. Timing out when the coldest air arrives is a little bit difficult this far out. But yeah, 19 in Atlanta, and look at 18. That's going to Saturday morning. It'll probably be 19 Christmas morning, and that 24 you see on Sunday is for the 26th next Monday morning. So it will last. Tanya Belcher on YouTube asking how long the cold will last. And it's looking like an easy 3 days, but could actually wind up being longer than that. And here's a look at its arrival in the 7-day forecast. Alrighty, let's see what folks are saying. Let's see. Edie saying on Facebook, she says, don't worry about them. You know, no, it is my bad, Edie. I should have noticed that, and I should have looked closer at that. Sometimes it goes by very quickly, but now I will never forget, Edie. Thanks for watching, and again, we always do these lives. If this is one of the first times you've tuned in to one of our live forecasts, it is, first of all, thanks for watching. Welcome. My name is Cutter Martin. I'm a meteorologist here at Atlanta News First, and we're here to keep you updated, and we will always do these, even when the weather is calm. We do these every morning, every evening, just another way you can get the forecast away from the TV screen. And Edie, you're very welcome. I do apologize for the There we go, mispronunciation, and I'm glad, I should say, that explanation made sense to you. Sheila Black saying, oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much. Cold weather is headed down to Savannah, coastal Georgia. This is not just in North Georgia, not just an Atlanta cold wave. We're talking much of the eastern two-thirds of the country, basically from the Rockies, even portions of the Intermountain West, on east, southern plains, Gulf Coast, northeast, Midwest, the south and southeast. Definitely, that is going to be a pretty expansive wave of cold air. New comment coming in, Vincent saying, ask who Ella is. Ella is getting some good old-fashioned R&R. She'll be back Monday morning for you, though. You're very welcome, and I will let her know. I will let her know just that. Tanya Belcher, could we see black ice? You know, again, there's a realm of possibilities. Here is that 7-day forecast. You know, theoretically, looking at that 7-day forecast, when temperatures are at 47 Thursday afternoon and then potentially well below freezing by Friday morning, as we go from rain to maybe some sleet to snow, even if it's light, you know, we could, Tanya, see some black ice. Tanya Belcher commenting on the Atlanta News First YouTube page. We're also live on Facebook. That is a possibility. Absolutely is a possibility. Yeah, and max 19 for a low in Savannah. That is absolutely the case. That's in Atlanta, mind you. And Sanchez L. Burns Turner saying, I hope the cold air has gone by before December 31st. We will be ready to see our dogs off to the national championship. Some moderation or warming of that 7-day or in and beyond that 7-day forecast is likely, though I do think this occasional kind of colder pattern where it tries to warm up, then it gets cold with the storm system moving through, that could linger into early January. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Dog play is not interrupted, though, right? And Max Scoop saying, at least there's not a first alert weather day because that is when I go all hands on deck mode. Yeah, Max, there is a first alert right now. We're going to be monitoring the level of impact that it may have across North Georgia. So a heads up as we jump back to that 7-day forecast. You could see some fluctuations, not just in the forecast, but in how much of an impact we see to your day, to your holiday travel. Tanya saying, good thing we won't get to negative 20 up in the north. That is so true. Chris Garrett saying, go Dogs. Definitely, hopefully none of the football plays impacted, but that's way out in the future, and it is in all likelihood going to warm up and be just fine on that particular day. Max, you're very welcome, and glad you're watching. Tina Tony. So how long are you saying the 19-inch temperatures will last? 2 weeks? No, that's that's 3 to 5 days. 3 to 5 days with really cool mornings. Chris, you're welcome. Again, Chris Garrett on YouTube saying go Dogs, getting the forecast and repping his team. Okay, so let's pull back up. I'm losing my words here. Let's pull back up that 10-day forecast. And here is a better look, and this is for the Facebook comment that just came in asking how long the teens would last. We will be 19 Thursday night, that is Thursday the 22nd, 18 Friday the 23rd, Saturday the 24th, so Christmas Eve night, going to Christmas morning as you're waking up, opening gifts, spending time with family. If you celebrate low temperature of 19, so you're going to wake up the teens in many areas Christmas morning, and then even the 26th. Maybe if you go and watch a movie with the family that day, or you run errands, or you celebrate with different family members on the 26th, that risk of cold air is still there as we get into the day after Christmas or early next week. So it's going to last 3 to 5 days. The core of the cold will last 3 to 5 days. Now, afternoons won't necessarily be in the teens, but mornings likely to be in the teens, though those numbers you see in front of you right now likely to change, to be adjusted and altered a bit as data becomes clearer, as we get more confidence in the first alert forecast so many days out. Chris Garrett saying from Eastern Lawrence County, just noticed the page. Well, we're glad to have you. Thanks for watching. Again, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, my name is not my name, but I am First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. That's my name. CUTTERMARTIN. Give me a like, follow, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, any of those platforms. And not just me, Ella Dorsey, also Rodney Harris, Courtney Jacobazzi, Jennifer Valdez, Fred Campagna, all here to keep you updated, not just when the weather's calm, but also like today when we have some weather to talk about. So hopefully that answered the Facebook question that came in. It's not going to last, for weeks, but it is going to be cold for 3 to 5 days, I would say, in the first alert forecast across North Georgia. Tina Tony saying, ouch, probably 15 in Rome. Yeah, Tina, and it could be colder than that in Rome. And that 19 and 18 may be a little warm even in Atlanta. We could be talking lower teens maybe the mountains, single digits. And with the wind, Tina, factored in, and Friday it is going to be windy. With that wind factored in, it could feel like it is in the single digits, and the mountains could feel like it is below zero. So the wind, the cold, and that risk of some wintry weather, those three things are going to be an impact. Late Thursday, more so Friday, and they will bleed into Saturday as well. Tanya saying, is this going to be the 2 times we get the snow, the January? Is this going to be the 2 times we get snow? I'm having a little trouble. It's a little, every situation is different. Tina, you might be talking about, Tanya rather, you might be talking about the snow that impacted North Georgia January of this year, just after the start of the new year, 2022. Every system is different. I wouldn't compare the two. We can just focus on the forecast and what we're expecting right now, and that's it right there in the 7-day. It's chilly to cold the next several days, more clouds tomorrow, and then Monday into Tuesday could have some sprinkles, maybe a flurry up in the mountains really overnight. And then we get a bit of a break Wednesday, though, could have some rain around. Again, it's a very complicated forecast here. And then Thursday into Friday, getting more confident that some extreme cold is going to filter back into North Georgia and metro Atlanta. And we'll be talking about near record breaking temperatures, cold, as we get ready to celebrate Christmas. Max Scoop saying 15 to Snellville. Yeah, it's a possibility. And a reminder, good resource as we continue to update this forecast and as the picture becomes clearer. That source, a good one, is the Atlanta News First Alert Weather app. All you have to do is search First Alert Weather in your app or Google Play Store. We have a QR code that's pretty much always on our TV screen when we're live. You can scan that QR code, get the latest forecast right there in the palm of your hand. And this is a good tool because you may see that video there. That's a video that we put in the weather app before our evening newscast even began, kind of detailing the situation. And as we get closer to this particular forecast kind of problem or kind of situation that's a little tricky, as we get closer to it, aka Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to get more confidence in what the forecast is going to do, what it's going to include, and the impacts to you as you get ready for the Christmas holiday weekend. Atlanta former 33 on YouTube. Will ice be the issue on Thursday night? It's a possibility, but it's all about timing of this front. If the front moves in, let's say 4 p.m. Thursday, ice will be a concern Thursday night. If it moves in maybe 7 a.m. Friday, a little over 12 hours later, it will not be a concern Thursday night. And we're still not sure exactly how much precipitation there will be with the front. It could just be a couple flurries, some sprinkles, and in that case, there wouldn't be much of an ice risk. Atlanta, former 33 on YouTube. Now, if it moves through and we have a wetter system and the temperatures drop as quickly as they look to drop, yeah, ice could be a big issue Thursday night and Friday morning, and possibly during the day Friday, and possibly Friday night into Saturday morning. Could be some slick spots on the roadways. But of course, if that appears to be the case, they will treat. GDOT is prepared. They will be ready to go. Max Scoop saying, hope it's not going to be a Snowmageddon 2014 2.0. Right now, it is not looking like that, but we'll let you know if anything changes. And Chris is asking about blizzard like the storm of 1993 for Christmas. Let's not do that, because you wouldn't get to your loved one's house. Some people wouldn't have power. Some people would not be staying warm. It would be miserable. Everyone would be stuck. It would not be fun. And that's miserable enough in the early spring, January onward, but it's especially miserable on a holiday. Let's see. Yeah, asking about Storm of the Century was in March. Yep. Early spring. Blizzard in 96, also kind of similar. But no, we cannot be making comparisons like that. That's not in the forecast. But it is going to get very, very cold. And it is going to come with a chance of some snow, and possibly some sleet and a little bit of rain before the cold air really starts to filter in. Again, here is that 7-day forecast. We're going to touch on this now. I want to remind you, we'll start to get our new evening data in, some of that within the next couple of hours. And we're actually back on TV here in less than 30 minutes. Atlanta News First Peachtree TV. You can stream it, though, even if you don't have that particular channel, atlantanewsfirst.com, and the news app, weather app, Roku, Amazon Fire, YouTube Live, anywhere you are watching this newscast, you can stream, or this digital weather forecast, rather. You can stream the newscast, including the weather. Coming up here in just a bit, again, starting at 9 p.m. I want to thank you for watching both on Facebook, YouTube, anyone else that is watching. Carlson, San Hatcher, you're very welcome, and appreciate the viewership. Again, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, we will see you back here tomorrow evening. at about 8 p.m. Full forecast coming up Sunday evening as well. We'll keep you covered in the weather app, in the news app, AtlantaNewsFirst.com over the next several days as we get more confidence and what exactly and how exactly this system is going to unfold across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. I want to thank you for watching. Going to leave you with that 7-day forecast, and we're back on TV, streaming platforms as well in just a bit with the latest.